Most people believe control is loud. They imagine shouting, orders, authority. They believe control announces itself. But the most powerful form of control never raises its voice. It waits, it observes, and it allows your own mind to do the work. By the time you notice something feels wrong, you're already adjusting your behavior, not because you were forced, but because you were influenced. People rarely control you directly. Direct control creates resistance. Pressure creates pushback. So instead, they influence how you feel, how you interpret situations, and eventually, how you react. This is not motivation. This is not confidence coaching. This is awareness. Most people never notice when control begins, because it does not feel aggressive. It feels subtle. It feels ordinary. It feels familiar. That is why it works, because what feels familiar rarely feels dangerous. Control usually begins with confusion. One day, someone is warm, friendly, engaged. They listen, they respond, they seem present. Then suddenly, the next day, they are distant, cold, unavailable. No explanation, no reason. Your mind does not like uncertainty, so it starts searching for answers. You replay conversations. You analyze tone. You question your own actions. Slowly, your attention shifts away from reality and toward self-correction. Read that again. Confusion weakens clarity, and clarity is power. This is why confusion is so effective. Silence is another misunderstood tool. Silence is not passive. Silence is not weakness. Silence creates pressure. When someone suddenly goes quiet, without explanation, without closure, your mind fills the gap. You assume responsibility. You assume fault. You assume loss. The silent person does nothing. Yet your mind stays busy. It replays moments. It imagines outcomes. It prepares responses that may never be needed. Whoever occupies your thoughts controls your emotional space. Silence forces engagement, not physical engagement, mental engagement. The person who stays silent controls the pace, controls the tension, controls the uncertainty, not because they are powerful, but because your mind is working for them. Silence creates imbalance, and imbalance creates influence. The longer the silence lasts, the deeper the influence goes. Silence does not argue. It does not explain. It waits. And waiting creates pressure. Pressure that feels invisible, but works. Every time. Another form of silent control is withholding closure. Conversations remain unfinished. Questions remain unanswered. Emotions remain unresolved. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is denied. This keeps the connection open in your mind. You wait. You hope. You hesitate to move on. Waiting is not neutral. Waiting creates dependence. Closure gives freedom. Control avoids it. Another powerful method is inconsistent validation. Small compliments, occasional attention, moments of approval, then absence, distance, silence. This inconsistency creates anticipation. Your mind stays alert. You begin to notice patterns. You adjust your behavior. You become more careful, more restrained, not because you want approval, but because uncertainty creates tension. When validation becomes rare, it becomes valuable. And when approval feels valuable, behavior begins to change. Quietly, gradually, without you noticing. The most dangerous control weakens your trust in yourself. It does not sound aggressive. It sounds calm, reasonable, almost caring. You're overthinking. You're too sensitive. That didn't happen. That's not what I meant. Slowly, you stop trusting your instincts. You hesitate before reacting. You second-guess your feelings. You replay moments to check if you were wrong. When self-trust fades, external influence grows. Because when you don't believe yourself, you look for guidance elsewhere. The clearest sign of silent control is adaptation. No one asked you to change. No one demanded it. Yet you speak less. You choose words carefully. You avoid certain topics. You adjust to avoid discomfort. This is not respect. This is pressure. And pressure that goes unnoticed is the most effective kind. Control loses power when clarity returns, not explanation. Clarity. Stop chasing answers. Stop filling silence with assumptions. Stop reacting automatically. Start observing patterns. How do you feel after interactions? Clear or confused? Calm or tense? Control depends on emotional reaction. When you stop reacting emotionally, when you stop adapting without awareness, influence weakens. Awareness creates distance. Distance breaks control. The most dangerous control never announces itself. It does not warn you. It does not threaten you. It hides in silence, in confusion, in doubt. Once you recognize it, once you see it clearly, it no longer works. This is Mindistry Code.